Oh, look what's just arrived. Another Matchbox classic. This one says it's from 1980 on the thing. What are we doing looking at this in the middle of all that? Well, apart from the fact that you get some great packing. Thank you very much. I did notice... Oh, I put them in there already. I did notice some rather nice little figures buried amongst all this stuff. And two of them are standing up. And I think I'll be able to take one of these and put them in a model of a Dornier. I think it's a Matchbox one. Oh no, it might not be. And use one of these in the Dornier, which is yet to come. Let's face it, the Handley page Heyford did not see action. So, it was an interesting little white screen there, wasn't it, for a moment? So, if it didn't see action, then there's no need to have men with machine guns being all active. Instead, we can have, well, you know what I'm on about. So far so weird. Top wing on, engines on, but you get sort of halfway down the fuselage and it's gone. So I'll be putting that on next, I think. An awful lot has gone on. It's all moved very quickly, as I've found with Matchbox aircraft in some other case. Can't remember which one it was. Vickers Vimy. And this one is a dreaded double winger, biplane, for those who want the grown-up term. And it's moving along smoothly. There was only one problem. Obviously when the two wings, or when the bottom wing to be precise, was being added, it all went fine over there, but on this side it just wasn't quite fitting, so there must have been something slightly out, because everything else fitted just fine. And I was listening to a program on YouTube at the same time in which UFO researcher Richard Dolan got into an argument with some bloke on the radio, and he doesn't usually do that, and now I got a bit stressed, pressed hard, and that snapped. So I will reset that because it's not very good, and smooth it all out. But apart from that, it's great. Just one other thing. Remind me why I painted it this very nice beigey browny colour and not green, which is what it's meant to be. Well, once again it's all come together a bit quickly. I do apologise, we haven't followed it through all the way, but the model's basically done. I haven't dubbed in the sound of the aircraft. It's actually a passing helicopter, which you might have seen in the sky. So go back and have a look. Anyway, there it is done. Good model. The ridge down the side of the fuselage I'm just not sure about, but I'm not going to tamper with it. The transfers were a problem, being old. At least one of them had stuck to the paper surface and didn't want to come off the backing, which you can see on one of the spats around the wheel. So I'm gradually cutting that off very carefully, bit by bit, so it should go in the end. But it's a very, very good model, well worth the bother. And it's one of those interwar exciting experimental jobs that I like. And look at that, the fuselage is hanging off the top wing. That's great. It allowed people to work on it from sort of the ground. You can see what they're thinking. You can put the bombs in the bottom wing, and you can probably with a step ladder get to much of the engines. But I think it meant that the cockpit sat something like 15 or 17 foot above ground level, 5 metres, it's around about that. I suppose that made for challenges and eventually evolved into other things, which I hope we'll be making shortly.